Hi theconnleyclan fam! Today I have a series of appointments that I have to go to that I am dreading. I was told 2 years ago that I had cancer, but I will tell you more about that when I get back from my appointments. Alright guys, I am back from my doctor's appointments. I had labs drawn, I had an MRI done, and I got to meet with the surgical oncologist. My labs look great. Last time they looked great. They still look great. They did find some changes on my MRI though. So let's go back to the beginning of my story and we'll start there. Okay, so here's the story. In the beginning of 2019, I was having some issues and I went in to see the gynecologist and found out that I had a problem called cervical stenosis. When I found that out, I also found out that things were kind of backing up and my tube was about 3 times the size that it was supposed to be. So I was going to have surgery to resolve both issues, and they were going to take out one of my tubes. When I went in for surgery, the doctor told me that after the surgery she would go talk to Sean, who was in the waiting room, and that I would not see her after that, but that Sean could relay the message to me. I found out at that time that I also had something called adenomyosis, and that is something that I don't believe that there's anything you can do for it. But when they took out my tube, the first thing that I found out when I woke up was that they also took out my other one. So it was a little bit bad. I felt like bad news, even though I knew that I couldn't have kids, or I was pretty sure I couldn't have any more biological children. It still was a little sad to me because I think as a woman you feel like part of your worth is having children, and so knowing that there was no possible way that I would ever be able to have kids, and it was a definite at that point because they took out both tubes. That was something I had to come to terms with. She made the decision once she was in the middle of the surgery, so it wasn't something that I knew was going to happen, and it wasn't something I was prepared for. So that was a little sad. The thing though that got my attention when I was waking up from my surgery was that the doctor was sitting next to my bed. And she had told me that I wouldn't see her. And so at that point, I instantly knew that something was wrong. So while she was doing the surgery, she found cysts that were covering my ovaries and my uterus, and she decided that she was going to see if she could have an oncologist come in, and there just happened to be an oncologist available in the location I was having the surgery, and so she had him come in and take a look, and they both agreed that they were pretty sure that I had cancer. So the doctor pulls out the pictures, shows me what she's talking about, and in this picture there are a bunch of tiny little cysts that are all over the place inside of my body. And she said that they did a biopsy of them, but that she was pretty sure that they were going to come back saying that I had cancer. So when I left there, and poor Sean, he was in the waiting room. He had called our parents to tell them, and it was some extremely jarring news. Not something that I thought, not the report I thought I was going to get when I woke up from having this surgery. So now I'm dealing with the fact that I have lost both of my tubes, and now the fact that they think that I have cancer. So I did some research as I was waiting for the test results, and I found something called BMPM, and at this point I was pretty sure that that is what they were going to tell me that I had, based off of the pictures I saw and based off of the information that they were giving me. So BMPM is benign multicystic peritoneal mesothelioma. So it is a form of cancer. The thing with BMPM that I ended up finding out about a week later is that it is benign. So I do have mesothelioma, but it is a non-cancerous form. So basically I have non-cancerous cancer. So these cysts are covering the my ovaries, my uterus, they are by my bladder, and then they run up the lining, which is called the peritoneal lining, and it covers all of your organs going up your abdomen. And so I have these cysts going up that peritoneal lining also. So the problem with this is that if those cysts get too big, they can impede on my organs and they can cause trouble that way. It doesn't mean that I can't get cancer. It just means that this form will never turn into cancer. They've never seen it turn into cancer, although it is an extremely rare condition. The doctor told me they only see about 100 cases every year. When I looked it up online, they said there was only about 200 cases on record ever, but the doctor did say that there's about 100 cases that they find a year. So I could go have this peritoneal lining removed, which would then remove all the cysts, except there's a 50% chance that it will come back, that the peritoneal lining will regrow and then I'll get all the cysts back. So it's only like a 50-50 chance. So we've decided that we were going to just sit it out and wait and see what happens. I, about 2 months ago, started having some really severe pressure on my bladder, and I was wondering if maybe one of the cysts was getting big. So I went in for my doctor's appointment, and all my labs look great, which is good. The problem, though, is on my MRI, they did find on my right side, where there was not really a cyst there before, 2 years ago when I had all these tests done. Now there is a cyst there, and it is 3.5 inches in diameter, and it is in fact pushing on both my uterus and my bladder, and on the MRI I could see where my bladder was caved in because of it. The cyst that I had that was the biggest one last time was on my left side, and at that point in time it was 4 centimeters. I never converted that one into inches, but probably about 2 inches or so. and now it is, I believe they said 5 centimeters. So that one is growing, just not like on the other side. So I am going back in 3 months to have another MRI and labs done to see how fast the cyst is growing on my right side. There is a chance I may have to go in for surgery and have it removed if it continues to cause trouble, but I will keep you guys updated on what's going on. You know, I was happy to find out that it was non-cancerous cancer. It was definitely it was definitely an experience finding out that they thought I had cancer. I think that's part of the reason why I decided that I really at that time wanted to move. If you remember, we decided at the middle of 2019 that we were going to hop in our RV and go to Texas. I think that's part of what drove that decision for me. You know, finding something out like that really makes you want to go out and make sure that you live and you experience things. And even though I don't think about it a whole lot, the fact that I have this BMPM, but it does occasionally cross my mind and makes me want to make sure that I live every moment to its fullest and that I get to experience different things, because, you know, you just never know. So thanks for listening to my story today. I hope that you didn't mind me sharing. If you guys have not yet subscribed to our channel, click here to subscribe to our channel now. And if you have not caught our video, Trying Asian Snacks for the first time, click here to watch that video next. Bye!